When it comes to consistency in the aisle, I'm sure you can think of several things that always remain the same. I'll leave the list to your imagination and simply supply my point. Cerato has been, and somehow always will be, one of the most despised carnivores to exist. And to an extent, that hatred is justified. After all, what else in the game is so loud? What else can make you vomit? What else shows up in droves and deletes your progress with a simple button press, just like... Oh, wait, that last one was Allo. Cerato got a weight increase for its prime state. And the masses raged, of course. But with Allos running amok and instantly pinning anything in their path, I found myself drifting toward old, reliable Cerato once again. Call him what you will, he remains the best brawling carnivore in the game. I spawned West Rail and quickly made my way to South Sanctuary. My intention was to become a Prime. Being a frail Cerato was literally asking to just die at any point in my life simply because an Allo blew its nose in my general direction. And we couldn't have that. As I approached the sanctuary, I found myself a delicious, unattended stomach, just lying there on the ground, and decided to take it with me. Better to eat within the safety of the sanctuary, after all. At least that was my thought process, until the little Allo decided he wanted a piece of me. I, however, had no intention of dying. After eating my snack, I returned to the corpse to drag it safely back inside as well. No sense leaving good food out for the dangerous world to find, after all. I got it settled with no time to spare. Out of the sanctuary came another little Allo. No. Make that 2 little Allos. They followed the scent of blood leading into the sanctuary, right to me. They didn't know what hit them. After a meager attempt to fight back, both vanished momentarily, and I, knowing I was on the verge of death, took the opportunity to vanish into the cycads. I needed to heal my bleed, and I didn't want to risk them returning to finish me off. Once my blood was nearly healed up, I returned to seek out my food. I was incredibly hungry after sitting for so long as a juvenile. I needed sustenance. Of course, you walk away from a meal for 30 seconds and someone is going to show up and try to capitalize on it. Stinky little Rex. Unfortunately, I'd grown too much, and for no apparent reason, my Cerato decided she was far above shaking organs out of carcasses. I would have to risk the danger food out in the open. The rot first. I wanted the bile for security, just in case. I needn't have worried, though. Nothing was lying in wait by the nearly rotten Cerato corpses. After healing most of the way, I found myself in Highlands. I didn't have any desire to go to Delta, but food had become a thing of the past in South, and I needed to get my diets back up. I spent some time searching for the mythical teleporting goats before something else caught my eye. A single raptor. His biggest mistake was going for bleed pounces. Or pounces at all, really, against a sub-Cerato with mutations specifically for guarding against bleeding out. Ultimately, he placed himself on a rock. Technically, all I had to do was wait out his hunger or water. And so I waited. My own food levels were getting uncomfortably low, though, and as the slower animal, when the raptor ultimately decided to make a run for it, I couldn't do much to catch him as long as tracking remained broken. Still unwilling to enter Delta, I instead made my way to Bridge Pond for a drink. Gateway would provide, I was sure of it. And sure enough, it gifted me an AI galley that didn't know its own speed. This would do. Nearly full-grown now, I wandered aimlessly through the bush plains. I needed deer since no players seemed to exist. But deer clearly wanted nothing to do with me. An adolescent Rex, though, that could potentially be a snack. If I could catch it anyway. I didn't really have high hopes. The Rexling, however, had dreams of being a big boy and pinning me. I chased until I lost his trail. Honestly, though, there wasn't much chance of catching him once he decided to run. Ultimately, I settled for junk food on the beach before trotting up into West Rail, Maine. A tiny tater tot was rolling away toward the sanctuary, and I decided to be a menace to society. Not a danger, though. Just a menace. Grow a bit, little tot. I'd like to fight you when you're a bit more meal-sized. Finally achieving Prime, I decided to move to Delta. Now that I couldn't be solo-pinned by most Allos, I could move more freely through the dangerous hotspots. I even found another adult Cerato, though he wasn't Prime yet. He was friendly at least, and that counts for a lot in the Isle. My food was dangerously low, though, and so when I spotted a young Allo, it became a light snack. Unfortunately, the server crashed before much else could happen, and when I returned, I decided it was time to go forth and entomb. I was slow now. Still heavy, but my strength wasn't what it used to be. I needed to evolve. Now, I know no one wants to watch me grow more than once today, much less 4 times. I had every intention of getting a full 14 mutation Prime Cerato. So we'll settle for the highlights. I woke up in Highlands for round 2, and immediately began the race to where I knew I had left my Prime corpse. Unfortunately, entombing deleted my purple skin and turned me into a manly Cerato. Oh well, the things we do for strength. Upon reaching the river, I decided to just swim for it instead of crossing the waterfall. Dinos are a myth after all. Unless they're land dinos. Not really willing to get myself one-tapped when I was already this far into my entombment journey, I moved on. The dinos appeared to be headed for my Prime corpse, and I had every single intention of getting there first and running away with all of the organs if that was the case. We would meet again. Whether their intention was to steal my carcass or not, I was successful in getting all of the organs for myself. And allowed a fresh spawn raptor a nibble, because those poor things need all the help they can get given the state of their existence currently. Skipping far forward into my growth, I was in West Rail watching a stego scream incessantly for action, and spotting an Allo almost as tall as me getting a drink. Height doesn't mean much, though, and he was an easy meal. And then I was Prime again, entering Delta exactly as I had before. My migratory patterns are nothing if not predictable. I hadn't gotten to fight an Allo in my previous life. I hoped that this time would be different. Lucky me, I spotted one headed in my direction. My ambush was quite successful. If success meant giving him such a scare that he quickly decided that despite being inherently slower and less agile, he should only attempt to flee rather than fight back in any way at all. Well, that was anticlimactic. I wandered around for a while, hoping to catch an Allo somewhere solo. Surely they weren't all just on Dibble Island. I didn't know, but as I was crossing the bridge, my sixth sense started tingling. That? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, my heart. It has been 84 years. So very long since I've last seen one. I had to be very careful not to spook it. They're skittish, you see. Land, Dino! I'd seen 3 Rexes and a Trike here just minutes earlier. I needed to do this quickly. Oh, sweet, sweet victory. Bothered only by a silly Herrera. His attempt to jump me would not go unpunished. I didn't need all the organs. I couldn't get diet from all the organs. But I wasn't going to leave him a single one now. Feeling distinctly satisfied with my otherwise uneventful life, I entombed again. Round 3. Nothing happened. Quite literally nothing. I got Prime. I saw no threats. I entombed. Round 4. Once again, nothing happened. Nothing aside from a patch that made it almost impossible to get Prime. That was fine though. I simply took a break for a few days after reaching 60%. Biding my time. This was my last entombment. I had 14 mutations, which is the maximum, and I was nearly 100% Prime again. Once again, having met a total of 0 threats to my survival while growing. It was time to go see what the hubbub about Dibble Island was. If I was going to die this time, I wanted to die fighting. Come what may. Well, what may happened to be 3 Allos living on the eggs their pet trike was laying for them. Ugh. Not ideal, but I hoped I could lure them around enough to take them down one at a time, rather than letting them all come at me at once. My swim speed mutation would give me at least some level of leeway here. All 3 came after me, one pulling quickly ahead of the others. As the other 2 caught up, I crossed the river. And had a mild surprise when the one that chased me across was a Prime. That's annoying. I severely dislike the lack of counterplay that comes with being pinned as a beautifully healthy 2-ton animal. Is that range hacking? Back again already. I didn't know, but I decided to sit and try and heal my bleed before backing off. I had enough bleed resistance with my beefed up mutations to survive a bit of a run, but I would rather not risk running out of stamina and bleeding out. When the sussy Allo jumped back into the river to cross again, I opted to swim away once more. But the suspicion that range hacks were back was quickly confirmed. Coolio. Well. If I was going to die either way, I was going to stand my ground and make it hurt. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks, and I hope to see you again soon.